From his work with modern raptors, Eric knows the point where the shoulder muscles originate and where they insert at the base of the skull. They are going to replace these muscles with pneumatic pistons.
We just need to hook up an air compressor and we can get this going.
And measure the force of a killing blow. And with modern technology, we'll be able to observe this lightning-fast striking power.
If it's running 30 miles an hour, how fast does it strike?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Probably
Slow-mo cameras will allow us to slow time to a standstill. And Jeff Lieberman and Matt Kearney know exactly what to look for in that footage. However, it is one thing being armed with such a formidable weapon, but yet another being close enough to use it. North America, 2 million years ago. Just how did this master predator, this keen-eyed bird with killer instincts, get close to strike its prey? It's a solitary hunter. The slightest movement drives the bird into action.
One of the most important things for any kind of a predator is motion. It's almost a hardwired trigger that when something moves, you chase it.
And how a predator tracks prey is crucial information for understanding an extinct beast. But for the terror bird, this information is hard to come by. Unlike wolves or saber-tooths, terror bird has no immediate modern-day counterparts. Their closest living relatives are 1/100th of their size, raptors. And this is why paleontologist Eric Snively studies these small yet powerful birds to gain an insight into terror birds.
They're really my chosen subjects for examining evolution and behavior and hunting in large predatory birds of the past.
One of Eric's subjects is the hawk.
Hawks can see a wider spectrum of color than humans can. Also, they have a much higher density of light-gathering cells on their retinas, so they can see a finer discrimination of movement.
A hawk spots a squirrel long before its unsuspecting victim realizes it. Once the hawk dives, it's able to stay focused on its target no matter how fast it's moving. Could a terror bird also watch like a hawk? Larry Whitmer, professor of anatomy at Ohio University, has a way of getting inside a terror bird's head. He uses CAT scans to analyze fossils that are millions of years old.
Here we've got the skull of a terror bird that we've made transparent so we can see what the brain structure is like. We can get a closer look by actually making the skull go away completely, and we can zoom right in on the brain. Okay, now we're into the eye socket.
The CAT scan generates an image of the soft tissues that were once encased in bone.
Yep. Great, this is perfect. We can now view what the brain was like. We can see where blood vessels and nerves went. By being able to view the brain, that allows us to have a glimpse into what the behavior and the capability of these animals actually were.
Though a terror bird's brain is bigger, it has the same structure as that of a hawk.
There's a part of the brain located right here called the optic lobes, where visual information is processed. For instance, in both cases, we can see that the optic lobes are very expanded, suggesting that vision was important.
The scan reveals that raptors and terror birds also have something else in common.
One thing that I'm really struck by is the large size of the cerebrum, the higher part of the brain, the seat of cognition and problem solving.
thus giving the terror bird a huge advantage during the hunt.
A predator needs to solve the problems that the prey are presenting to it, to be wily, to be able to get around any of the defenses that the prey is offering.
So the terror bird, or Titanus, is intelligent enough to plan an attack.
Like, where is the prey relative to trees, and how am I going to try and capture that prey item?
They would really be very good at scanning the horizon by looking out to the side and covering a very wide field of vision. This would have enabled Titanus to give itself a bit of an edge over the prey.
But Titanus has another advantage. And the hunting behavior of another modern-day predatory bird, the owl, provides a clue. Oberon is a great horned owl. For Oberon, his sense of hearing is even more important than his sense of vision.
Owls have extraordinary adaptation for hearing the direction where sounds are coming from. They can localize the prey very well just through hearing. They don't need to rely on sight.
This is understandable when one considers that owls hunt at night. Terror birds probably didn't hunt at night, but they too used their sense of hearing during the hunt.
The sense of hearing is going to be associated with this part of the brain right in here, which is the lower part, the cochlea, which is very long and well developed in these terror birds. What that suggests is that the hearing was important to terror birds. Potentially they used it for tracking prey, listening for the sounds of prey in their environment.
The CT scan suggests that the bird's ears would have functioned well in an environment where it could not see its prey. A terror bird's hearing enables it to identify prey through barely audible sounds.
Kinds of sounds that actually transmit through forested and rough habitats.
Prehistoric state-of-the-art seeing and hearing allows terror bird to find its prey. But the ability to chase it down is crucial. Imagine running for your life with one of these behind you. Terror bird ran fast, but straight into extinction, though not without a fight. And that fight was brutal. Terror bird came to these battles armed with some secret weapons. And now, nearly 2 million years later, those secrets are about to be revealed. Titanus the terror bird, a marvel of evolution, the ultimate raptor. Nothing quite like it exists on Earth today. Of 3 of the most evolved apex predators who lived 2 million years ago, wolves, saber-toothed cats, and terror birds, only one remains. It was survival of the fittest. Wolves pursue a prey animal by targeting the weakest part of its anatomy.
There's a big tendon that runs down the back part of the leg. They try to bite through that tendon, which it basically stops the animal can't run anymore.
As the prey falters and panics, Suddenly, the wolves themselves are at risk.
So now you're going to stick your nose and your teeth into this thrashing, kicking mass of prey animal. It would be like sticking your face in a fan.
The wolves fall on the victim, inflicting shallow wounds, causing the prey animal to bleed to death. And it's a slow death. In contrast, a saber-toothed cat was able to quickly overpower its prey.
And they would clamp the sabers into the underside of the neck, the vulnerable part where you have all these lovely things like the windpipe and jugular veins and carotid arteries. And then they would pull their skull downwards. At the same time, they would pull their jaw upwards and then pull backwards, taking out that entire fold of neck and the associated structures with it.
Oddly enough, these deadly teeth were extremely delicate.
You can see the very elongate upper canines here at the front of the jaw, naturally. And if I turn it this way, you can see how narrow they are from side to side. So that is the sense in which they're delicate and vulnerable to being broken if hit from the side or bent from the side. So they had to hold this animal very strongly and immobilize it, and then apply 1 or 2 killing bites to the throat, we think, most likely.
Both wolves and saber-tooths developed highly efficient methods for killing, but neither could match the bird's ability to deliver a mega blow.
To kill prey, it would have used its neck to drive the tip of the beak down into the prey. It's like having a really sharp spike at the end of a hammer. Think of it that way. Yeah.
In all probability, the terror bird, or Titanus, strikes with a motion similar to that used by a present-day raptor.
With the raptors I work with, the impact really is at the tip.
But a flying raptor has the advantage of starting its attack from hundreds of meters up in the air.
And then when they see prey, they'll fold up their wings, flap their wings to dive in very quickly at the prey.
When a hawk dives, it reaches a velocity of 200 kilometers per hour. By the time it strikes its victim, the force is tremendous. Could a flightless bird achieve the same strike force from ground level? Until recently, we could only imagine what the bird's strike looked like. But now, in an unprecedented experiment, Eric and Rudy will use a mechanical beak to replicate the death blow. To measure the power of this force, Eric and Rudy have called in Discovery's time warp high-speed cameramen, Jeff Lieberman and Matt Kearney. They will capture Terror Bird's killing blow on high-speed video.
Rudy, how's it going? Good
Jeff,
to
how
see
you
you.
doing? Nice to see you.
Rudy?
Matt, how are you?
See you, man. So what do we got in here?
We have the terror bird.
Terror bird. Nice. Okay, so minus the wings.
It's basically just the neck and the head.
Let's tear it out of here. Not bad.
All the way in?
All the way in. Let's bring it under the silk. Watch your step over this.
During an attack, the Terror Bird can deliver a fatal blow in a split second. The bird rears its head back, slightly raising the tip of its beak. With one wicked blow, the beak penetrates the back of the spinal column, or drives the nail directly into the skull. The first test is a honeydew melon. Its consistency is strikingly similar to the gray matter inside our heads.
Hit it.
Ready? Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Wow. All right. Well, let's take a look.
All right, this is about 30 times slower than normal, so
Okay.
should be able to see everything. Here we go. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. This is like absolutely no challenge for this thing. All right, So it was attacking skulls normally?